G'day pedal fanatics, Jason the Middle-Aged Gear Junkie here. Last year I bought a Fulltone OCD to do a keep or sell episode on, and a lot of the comments that came in were, man, you should have got yourself a Fulltone Plimsoll instead. So I bought one so that I could find out what's the difference. I'm running through my Fender Deluxe Reverb as usual. That's with my standard Telecaster. I've got a hint of reverb from the amp, and I will switch to humbuckers a little bit later on. Now, we'll start off with the OCD. Now, first thing you'll probably notice is that levels are set differently. Well, they are different pedals, and the OCD is louder, so I've had to back the volume off a little bit. But they're both set at unity gain, so they're both about the same volume as my clean sound. Now, this has level, drive, and tone, as most overdrive pedals do have, but it also has low peak and high peak mode, this little toggle switch up the top. And what that does is, in low peak mode, it's pretty much neutral, and in high peak mode, it will cut a little bit of the bottom end and boost some of the sort of high mids to give it a little bit more definition. So let's have a listen to the pedal on its own. So when I switched over to high peak mode, you probably heard that we had a bit of a jump in volume, but also in clarity as well. So basically, in low peak mode, it sounds very neutral. It sounds basically like my amplifier, but just a bit distorted. So it's a hard clipping pedal, and I think once you get it past halfway, it really becomes a distortion pedal. But we get a little bit of tone shaping happening when we put it into high peak mode, because it sort of cuts a little bit of that sort of flubby bottom end and just tightens it up a bit and focuses it a bit more. The tone knob, it's not the most drastic tone knob I've ever had on a pedal, which is a good thing because I like my tone. I don't want it to be too drastic. So, yeah, I find with the OCD, it's not particularly great for single note stuff. It's better for as a rhythm overdrive or distortion. It doesn't focus your sound a whole lot. I mean, it does a little bit in high peak mode, but that's where the Plimsoll comes in, because the Plimsoll is a little bit different. So firstly, the controls are different on this. Sustain is soft clipping diodes, and stage 2 are hard clipping diodes. So you can blend soft and harder clipping together. That's all the way at 0 for the stage 2. And instead of a tone knob, we have a high cut knob. And at the moment, all the way to the right, it's in neutral position. So it should sound just like my amp. what I can hear from this pedal is it seems to cut a bit of bottom end. It really is a lot more focused. It has more mid-range than the OCD. Probably a little bit less top end. But yeah, it's definitely got a lot more tone shaping happening. All the way up with all the gain. Yeah, I think for single note stuff, the Plimsoll really sort of makes those single notes stand out more because it's got more mid-range than the OCDs. The OCD, I think, really sounds a lot bigger, particularly in the bottom end. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play part of a song that uses both single notes and some power chords. And I'm going to play through both pedals the way they're currently set. Now, I much prefer the Plimsoll for that single note stuff that I was just playing that. I think it sounded a lot more defined than... But then I preferred this for the chords. Because it's got so much more bottom end to it and it's got more balls. Yeah, the OCD is definitely the better rhythm distortion. All right, so with the OCD, it's almost getting a little bit fuzzy there. I like the gain just past halfway there. That's probably where I'd normally keep it. With the Plimsoll, yeah, the Plimsoll's definitely a lot thinner in that bottom end. That's a big difference, and I notice it even more with this guitar. With the Plimsoll, I really feel as though that you can hear some of the clean signal mixed in with it, a bit like on a tube screamer. This is a different beast to a tube screamer, and it's probably a little bit more flexible in terms of the sorts of sounds you can get from it. It's definitely got a lot more gain. But I actually think because of that, it works really well in front of other pedals, and I think this works best as a boost. So having it in front of another drive pedal to sort of push it, to focus it. In fact, these two pedals work really well in tandem because this is a nice thick rhythm distortion, and then the Plimsoll helps to focus it for single note definition for riffs and also for some lead parts. So here's the OCD. I'm just going to put it back into low peak. Now with the Plimsoll in front. Yeah, definitely. This is a boost. This is a killer boost, in my opinion, not so much a standalone overdrive. My thoughts on these two pedals are that they are very, very different. They are used for different applications, but you know what? They actually sound really good together. So it really depends on what you're after. If you're after a lead distortion, I would not go for this. If you're looking for a boost or something that's going to improve your mid-range, I would go for the Plimsoll. So it's really about what you like. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And remember, you can check out my other What's the Difference videos in the playlist that I've created for it. And there's a lot of other videos in my channel as well if you want to check those out. You can join the Middle Aged Gear Junkie Facebook page. I've left the link in the description. Other than that, my name is Jason. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you later.